Hello, students. So today at the Marlin test preparation, we are going to focus on the study of prepositions of place, such as in, on, and at, because knowing the difference between each of them and how to use them is very important for your cruise ship job. In Spanish, we use the preposition en for almost everything. But in English, this is different because we must choose between in, on, or at carefully to talk about places on the ship. Let's take a look at some examples between two of the most common prepositions. Use the preposition in when you are inside walls or a closed space. For example, in the cabin, in the kitchen, in the office. Use the preposition on for flat surfaces, floors, or ship size. For example, on deck 5, on the passenger deck, on the ship. Remember that when helping our guests, it is very important that we use simple English words such as next to or opposites to give clear directions and keep guests happy and safe. Some other prepositions, very common prepositions in English, are words like opposites, which means directly across or facing, next to, which means right beside or very close, below, which means under a deck or lower down. So remember, in order to get a good score in your Marlin test, it is very important that you practice. A very small mistake can change your score. So knowing the difference between the prepositions can help you pass this test easily. Let's take a look at the following chart, and you will see that here there are incorrect uses of the prepositions. Here is the correct use, the correct way of using them, and here is why. So let's take a look at the first example, which says, he works at deck 4. This is incorrect. The correct way would be, he works on deck 4. Why? Because specific decks on or floors use the preposition on. The following example says, the key is on the cabin, which is also wrong, and the correct way would be, the key is in the cabin, because inside the closed rooms uses the preposition in. Another example says, meet me on the reception, which is also wrong. The correct way would be, meet me at the reception, because specific meeting spots use the preposition at. And finally, the bag is on bottom is wrong, and the correct way would be, the bag is below deck number 3. Because remember, under the deck uses the preposition below. Let's take a look at some common test mistakes that students make. Many Spanish speakers make mistakes with prepositions because they don't know the difference between each of them or how to use them. Actually, if you take a look at the graph, you will see that 45% error rate belongs to prepositions in, on, at. So knowing the difference, once again, is very important in order to get a high score on your test. Now is your turn. Let's go to Google Classroom and let's complete some assignments you have for this week. See you there.